everyone, today we're here to talk about the amazing Godox V860II. Now you'll notice on all the boxes this one's a Canon, denoted by the C, so that letter changes according to Canon, Nikon, Sony, Fuji, etc. They're a fantastic flash. When you unbox them, originally they come with a fantastic lithium ion battery, which I'll come to in a second, the battery charger, the flash, carry case, stand, manuals, and all of those bits and pieces. The other thing that is fantastic about them is they have a built-in wireless 2.4 gigahertz flash transmitter. So when you buy your flash, buy it with one of the X1 transmitters, again Canon, Nikon, Fuji, etc., and you can wirelessly control your flash off the camera. We use these in store, and personally I think all the staff that use flash have one of them. This is my one. So a huge 2000 milliamp hour battery, so gone are the days of having to struggle and manage and fight with AA batteries that have been around for way too long and aren't really up to the job of modern flashes. 2000 milliamp hours, it's a good battery, nice and light, so it's not a big heavy piece of kit in your bag, and at full strength output on the flash will give you around about 650 flashes. So we don't use flashes on full strength, so you can go out with confidence knowing that on a partial output we're going to get probably around 1,000 flashes, even more. Really simple to put it in. We just open the flash box just like any other branded flash. Simple. We turn the flash on. It looks like the back of many of the other brand flashes. We have two buttons in the middle which gives us a reset, so if we push and hold those down for 4 or 5 seconds, it resets the flash into TTL. So in TTL, the flash / camera combination automatically adjusts according to the light requirement or the needs as dictated by the camera. Left hand side here we have a mode button. We can change through the mode button from TTL to manual to multi-burst, so now it can set a strobe of lights off. So after you reset, you've got your TTL function. With mode button we can push it into manual, back to TTL. The next flash we come to, not flash, is the zoom. The flash can automatically pick up what the zoom setting is on the camera, or you can manually adjust that if you want to. Plus or minus, so if we're even in TTL, we can hit the plus or minus button, and now we can increase or decrease our flash output as to what we would like. In manual mode we also have what's called S1 and S2 on the next button, which is slave. Really clever. Flashes when we take a photo in digital, flash on the output from another flash. The only thing is a lot of the modern flashes flash twice. S1 triggers on the first flash light change, S2 triggers on the second. So if you've got a camera that's metering off the flash, of course the first flash will fire, this won't trigger to that. The second flash will fire for your exposure, and this will trigger. So probably one of the most important functions is this command button that allows you to control wirelessly to other devices. So whether it's a flash, or obviously Godox flash, so this has a built-in wireless receiver. So I can go through, I can use it as a command, or I can use it as a slave, or I can have it in wireless. Once it's in our wireless mode, I've got my trigger here, and I can fire the flash remotely. Very, very rapid refresh time, around about 1.5 seconds. These will operate up to, I think it's 100 meters away from the flash. So you can have your flash quite some distance away from your camera. Great for real estate, great for sport, where you might want to have a light source up by a person who's doing their sporting something, and you're standing back with a big telephoto zoom. You can also still have a flash on board your camera. Once you start doing that, not only is it a fully developed flash system like we have from any of the camera suppliers, but now that it's wireless, what's fantastic is we can grab one of these sort of flash mounts, and we can now mount our flash into a flash mount, pick up something like a 600 centimeter flash box. So this is just a Gen B flash box with a Bowens mount, and this very quickly bayonets on, And I now have either a hand holdable flash I can take down to the beach, I can take to outdoor portrait sittings, or I can put it onto a light stand in a studio, in my lounge, in my garage, and I've got a portable studio for a fraction of the cost of what a big studio costs. Yes, it doesn't have the flash output of big studio lighting, but for most of us when we're doing residential portraiture, mum and dad, kids, etc., we don't need the huge flash output that we're getting on a huge large school group with 40, 50, 60 kids. I find these work really well. I use them just handheld, so I can go down the beach with my daughters or my son, have a trusty assistant holding the softbox up, and it gives us a fantastic result. Flash, full swivel head, just like everything else, but it's a very, very developed system. Okay, another great feature with the X1 transmitter is that it has different groups and channels. So primarily A, B, C, D, E. And when you have this on your camera, you can control all the different flashes that you might have around your studio or your subjects from the camera. So no longer are you running from the camera off to that flash because it's over or under what you would like your exposure to be. You can just push your button on here, choose channel A, and increase or decrease the strength as you would like. Or it might be channel B, C, D, etc. So absolutely fantastic that you're not having to now work around all of the flashes. It becomes very convenient that on camera, standing behind the camera where the photographer should be, you can now control your setup around the studio or wherever you may be. Units combined, it doesn't matter on the mount, you're looking at $399 or $349 for the flash only. So very economic, really enjoyable to use. I find them really simple to use, and it adds an absolutely fantastic dimension to your photography with flash off camera. So that's the Godox V860 Mark II.